If you're feeling a little down, a little lonely, a little low in energy, ask yourself if you can also describe that feeling as a sense of disconnection. And it could be a sense of disconnection from other people, but it can also be a sense of disconnection to yourself. Feeling disconnected from your hobbies, from your passions, from a sense of motivation, from a sense of intention, from a sense of direction. Feeling overall disconnected from something that's supposed to be guiding us in the right direction. And we so often try to fix this sense of disconnection by looking outwards and trying to connect to other people. But the reality is that if we don't fix first the root cause of it all, that is that we are actually disconnected from ourselves and from a sense of aliveness in us, it's going to be hard for us to connect to other people because we're not really sure where we're coming from. We're not really sure where we stand. We're not really sure what makes us feel alive. What is it that we like? So it's hard for us to connect with other people because we haven't really been able to connect with ourselves first. So who is it that we are? How is it that we show up? Who is that person that is trying to connect to someone that's out there? And this might sound a little bit scary, but I think it's actually quite beautiful and empowering because it allows us to open up to the possibility of connecting to something that is already available to us. Instead of trying to look so far ahead, instead of trying to go so far away to find something that makes us feel alive, that makes us feel connected to the world, we can find that sense of connection right here in this moment with things and experiences that are already available to us. And when I think of connection, I think of the small things that make us feel alive. I think of that moment in which you play a song and you're fully in it. You're fully listening to all the different tones, all the different instruments, all the different notes. You're listening to the lyrics. You're feeling something in you because you are almost in the song. You have become one with the song. You have been taken away by the song. That is a moment of connection. That is an easy and accessible, reachable tool that we all have to feel more alive within ourselves. All of a sudden you're happy, or all of a sudden you're emotional. It could be that you're sad, it could be that you're melancholic, but you are alive. And you get to that state because you simply just allowed yourself to be in that moment fully present. It's the same thing that happens when we find an activity that brings us joy and we allow ourselves to continue doing that thing for ourselves, not for someone else, not in order to gain anything out of it, not necessarily to become anything from it, but just because of the joy that we feel when we're doing that thing. It could be learning to play a new instrument. It can be going to a class at your gym. It can be learning how to paint. It can be joining a book club. It can be anything. But it's doing something that awakens in you a certain kind of excitement, of aliveness that makes you feel that this life is worth living. And it doesn't have to be big, it doesn't have to be complicated, it doesn't have to be expensive, but it has to mean something to you. And so today I want to remind you that it's not even so much about what is that activity that you pick, what is that hobby, or something overly complicated like finding your passion and your mission. That all sounds too big, but it's in the small little things. It's paying attention to what is happening right now. Is going out for a walk on a sunny day, or just laying down in your sofa outside in the balcony if you have the opportunity to do that, and enjoying the sun in your face and being there 100% fully in for that moment, because that is all you need in that moment, and not overcomplicating things with thoughts that are pulling us away from what is already available for us right here in this moment. Not letting those thoughts pull us away from the joy that is available to us right now when we get lost in something so simple as listening to a song, or watching a movie, or watching a show, or feeling the sun in our faces, or getting lost dancing to a song that you really like in your living room. Simple little things like that just bring the life back into you. And going back to that feeling of disconnection from other people, what's funny is that it's really not about not needing to connect with other people. It's more about the fact that the more you connect to yourself through those things that make you happy, the easiest it is for you to connect to other people. The less you focus your attention on trying to connect with others by trying to figure out how to connect with them, and the more you put that energy into just figuring out what makes you feel energized, what makes you feel motivated, and letting go into that feeling, and letting go into that connection, and letting go into that aliveness, you will regain energy in you that will make it much easier for you to connect with other people from that place, because you are connecting to other people from a place of aliveness, from a place of motivation, from a place of passion, from a place of fulfillment. That doesn't have to be complicated. You're not feeling fulfilled or happy or energized because you have achieved something big, and then you're telling yourself the story that you are amazing because you have achieved that thing. No, you're connecting with other people from a place of, hey, I feel content today because energetically my body and my mind are just feeling expanded, because, and you don't even have to explain the because, but at the core you know that it might just be as simple as the fact that you allowed yourself to feel. You allowed yourself to be. You allowed yourself to enjoy something. You allowed yourself to put the example of people that love cooking, which is something that I do not relate to. You allowed yourself to let go, cooking an amazing meal for yourself, and then cutting all the little ingredients and putting everything together and creating something amazing, delicious from nothing. You allowed yourself that moment. You allowed yourself that experience that made you feel expanded and make you feel excited. And it was so reachable for you. It was so easy to actually do it, and you did it for yourself, and you felt amazing, and now you are content and you are fulfilled and you feel good with yourself, and then you are in a great mood, and then you go out and then you can connect to other people from that place instead of trying to suck that energy from other people. Instead of waiting for other people to give you that energy, you are bringing this energy from something that you did for yourself. My invitation for you today is to remember that you have the power to connect today. You have things, you have experiences, you have the world around you ready for you to connect with it. You can go out for a walk and you can try to be fully present with the surroundings, and the world is there waiting for you to feel it. Music is there ready for you to listen to it, to hear it, to feel it, to dance along. The more you practice intentionally connecting with something that is at reach for you, the more you will be able to bring this feeling of connection and aliveness to the relationships that you build. Because you will show up in the world knowing, or at least feeling, that you know who you are, you know what you like, and that you are taking control of that. You are taking control of your life. You are taking control of doing those things that make you happy, and they don't have to be complicated. And you have already done that, and now you're putting yourself out there in the world, and you can have any kind of conversation with anyone, and you're not expecting them to feed you anything because you have already fed yourself with that. And then you can be more present, and then you can offer more, and then you can receive more, and then you can be more curious, and then you can ask more questions from a place of curiosity, not from a place of, oh, I have to be this person, I have to say these things. Notice that every time when you're interacting with the world, if you feel tense, if you feel contracted, if you feel closed up, if you feel anxious, if you feel heavy, it's because you're holding on to something that you don't want to give away. You're holding on to something as if you're scared that if you let go of that thing, something is going to take control of you, and it's like a catastrophe is going to happen. It's almost like we're trying to protect ourselves from something that may not even ever happen. And I am a firm believer that what we're holding on to so tightly in those moments is other people's perception of ourselves. When you're feeling tight, when you're holding on, when you're feeling anxious in an interaction with another human being, that's because you're putting your energy into trying to control how they perceive you. And you are not jumping into that interaction from a place of authenticity. Because if you jump into that interaction from a place of authenticity, your energy and your focus is not going into trying to control their perception of you. Your energy is going into just getting to know the other person, into just sharing whatever it is that you want to share. And oftentimes, when you don't feel connected to yourself, you're trying to look for this connection by attaching to other people. You are afraid of losing them even before you have built anything with them. And you are interacting with the world from a place of lack. You're interacting with the world from a place of, let me make sure that they perceive me in the way that they need to perceive me for them to want to connect with me, because I am feeling so disconnected and I really need to connect with this person. So I'm going to do my best to create this perception that I am this person so that they want to connect with me as much as I want to connect with them. And that is so exhausting, and it's so unnecessary, and it's a feeling that you can fully start to let go of once you learn to connect to yourself before you go on an adventure where you may or may not connect with someone else. And this connection is not something that you're going to have to force, because it's something that is just naturally going to happen with the right people around you when you show up in the world exactly as you are. And the only way for you to show up in the world exactly as you are is by connecting to yourself before you go out in the world. And the easiest way for you to connect to yourself is to connect to yourself through experiences that make you feel something, that develop in you that sense of connection with life. At the end of the day, that is what we're looking for. We're looking for that feeling of being connected to source, to energy, to life, to excitement, to hope, to passion, to motivation. Stop trying to connect with other people without being sure what is it that you're looking for, and instead place your attention in connecting with these aspects of life, and allow that energy in you to bring into your life people that also connect with those aspects of life, and you can meet in the middle. And there and then you will be able to connect with them from a place where I'm connected with these aspects of life that make me feel excited, and so are you. And that's why this conversation feels so easy. And that's why it feels so effortless. And that's why I laugh so much with you. And that's why we have so much fun when we work together. And I cannot even explain it. It feels like I have met you in another life. This is so easy. This is so fun. You know when that happens. You know why that happens. that happens when you're jumping into an interaction authentically as yourself. You're not trying to hide anything. You're not contracting. You're not holding on to anything. You're not holding on to this perception that you want to control from the other person. You're just being yourself. And you're doing this from a place of connection because you feel light, you feel expanded, you did your little dance in the kitchen, you cooked your little things, you listened to the music that you like, you went to the class that you love, and you're just happy, you're feeling good, you're feeling fulfilled. And then you went and then you talked to someone and it just flowed and it was great and it was amazing and it was easy because you just showed up as yourself, and it is that simple. So when you're feeling disconnected, when you're feeling a little low, when you're feeling a little lonely, instead of trying to hold on to things and chasing for things out there, look for the little things that make you feel connected to the essence of life.